On this week's episode, we talk all about the Our Future Selves collaboration with Ashton Kutcher and a new Florida Georgia Line artist series.
As well as studio credits now good for a full 12 months and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 97 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John.
Hey now, 97, almost at 100.
Is that insane? I mean, that is just, we're at our century podcast. Take that, Peloton. Yeah, that's exciting. I mean, that's crazy. No, it's flown by. So things are good. How you doing?
Yeah. Back to normal this week. Well, for a shorter week, with Labor Day weekend here in the U.S. But back on the usual routine with work and working out, and trying to get that balance. You know how it is.
Yeah. Do I? But I get it. I know. Yeah. And summer's winding down, and there's
school's about to begin.
Schools, yeah. For most people, I mean, I think Michigan's the only state that starts late. I mean, everybody else starts.
Yeah, New Jersey starts after Labor Day.
Oh,
Public
do they
school.
Also? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. New York started today. Some other schools started not today, yesterday or today. But anyway, all right, folks. Well, we don't have too much for you today, but we have enough. And if John and I will be able to kind of drag this out for you so that you'll have tons to listen to over Labor Day tomorrow. But as we do, as always, before we get started with the show, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just click the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand corner of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yep, and if you want to listen to us just on the go, we are on all traditional podcast platforms. If you search Pelo Buddy TV, be sure to click subscribe, hit notifications, so you never miss an episode.
Yeah, and of course we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms, again, so that you're up to date with all of the latest news.
And I think we're on TikTok now as well, so I think we're going to have to start throwing that in, because I think Chris Lewis has a Pelo Buddy TikTok as well, so we'll have to start adding that into the intro verbiage. Even know. I'm pretty sure he's on. I think I saw him on there the other day. So
that's too funny. All right, we'll have to throw that in. Well, there, folks, we're on TikTok too. Not sure if we're going to get on there, but we'll keep you entertained. All right, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right, so Peloton, we have this new Our Future Selves Ashton Kutcher series. So this was first announced back in July in tandem with a refresh of Peloton's marathon training program. But this past week, we got new details and some classes to go with it finally to take. So starting this past August 30th through to the New York City Marathon, which is November 6th, Peloton will drop a 10 weeks, 16-episode class series called Our Future Selves with Ashton Kutcher. And it's in weekly installments, and they shared this via Instagram this past week. The post contains a little trailer video for the series with several Peloton instructors and celebrity guests. But the instructors that were shown in the teaser are Bex Gentry, Emma Lovewell, Robin Arzon, Alex Toussaint, Dennis, Adrian Williams, and some of the celebrities that were pictured include Natalie Portman, Kim Kardashian, Allison Felix, who we mentioned as previously partnered with Peloton, John Batiste, Thomas Rhett, Kenny Chesney and Chris Paul. And there's also a new support page available, which reveals that there will be a badge opportunity for taking any of the Our Future Selves classes, and each class will be announced on Mondays on social media before they drop on demand on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. And all the classes will be placed in a dedicated collection for easy access. And Ashton Kutcher, the whole partnership came about, he's running this New York City Marathon to fundraise for his nonprofit organization called Thorn, which fights against the exploitation of children. So it's for a great cause. And the first class just came out this past Tuesday, the 30th at 10 a.m., and that one features him and Bex. Then it's almost like I don't know if they're like in his basement or in like a garage studio space, but there's surfboards, decorated. It's his space if it's a studio or whatever it is, but I don't know if it's on the West Coast, but they're running on treads and they're sort of like in a corner, sort of almost kind of facing one another.
Did you do it, John?
Yeah,
have you done it?
I didn't actually run it. I used a portion of it. I ran to a portion of the class for an Instagram reel that I recorded this past week. But I'm interested in it now after seeing the interaction that I witnessed between the two. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I definitely want to jump on. I did not have a chance to do so either, but I definitely want to get on because it does look fun.
Hey, I'm still getting caught up on All for One music festival
right?
stuff. Still,
right?
I'm chipping away at that, but there's a lot to get through. So
there was a lot to get through.
It can take some time
to get through. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be fun. I think from what I understand, he's really, really cool. And apparently he did an amazing job, just kind of from the chatter, from what I've heard. So that's fun. I mean, really fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this past week, we did yet again have some very frustrated members. This time, it was over members being forced to reset their passwords due to detected suspicious activity. It was reported that some members had to reset their passwords not once, but actually twice when unable to log in for a workout. So members had first experienced this back last Friday, August the 26th. And then again on Tuesday, August the 30th. From what we understand, it was a hard reset in which members were actually automatically logged out of their accounts while they were working out.
Mid-class. Now that would piss me off.
Yeah. And then could you imagine? And then we kind of, got in, it kind of came back on, and they weren't even able to do it. They literally had to log out. They had to go to their email, which was sent from Peloton with instructions for resetting passwords. So, some members even reported that they were logged out of their accounts, as they were in the middle of their classes, and the screen would freeze. The screen absolutely freeze. So it kind of gave them that login. When they went back to their login, they couldn't even because they had to reset the password. So, Zach Fangirl, our friend Nicole out on the West Coast in Seattle, called me in a panic. Like, does Chris know about this? Do we know what we need to do? So, appreciate. I know she reached out to Chris directly, and then I think he was getting reports in, one after the other about that. But it was a pain. They had to actually literally go in, reset their password, log back into their account in order to continue a workout. So I would have been quite frustrated. From what we have gathered, it was not all members that were affected by this suspicious activity, as not everybody had received emails. I mean, I wasn't affected, and I didn't receive any emails. So,
Jackie wasn't affected.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Peloton did. Yeah.
I've heard that it's related if you're a part of Power Zone or Power Zone Pack. A lot of folks in that group seem to have been affected because I think they have some sort of something. It's some sort of third party program or software or whatever you want to call it that they have their Peloton credentials entered through to track their Power Zone stuff, and apparently that might have been what was impacted because it seemed to be a lot of PZ folks that were chiming in different social media channels saying, it happened to me,
and
I'm
Nicole,
in PZ.
and Nicole's a big PZ participator, so that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Peloton did actually go on to provide, they did provide a statement in the official Peloton Facebook member page. And they basically say that as part of our ongoing commitment to ensure member safety, we proactively monitor unusual behaviors on our platform. In the last few days, we did detect suspicious login activity impacting a small group of Peloton members, obviously PZ members, and thus prompted the impacted members to change their Peloton account passwords. If you received an email from Peloton regarding this, please modify your password, and we apologize for any inconvenience. So I'm glad it got resolved. It sounds like, it got sorted and it got resolved, and it wasn't as if, it went on for too long. Once they kind of got it taken care of, it was done. But I'm sure there were, certainly members that were, freaked out and worried about it.
All right. Well, moving on, we have some rumor updates around the Peloton Rower, Amanda. First part is that new information revealed about the Peloton Rower, which is apparently being referred to by Peloton as Peloton Row, indicates that although they experimented with and tested controls on the handle of the rower, that feature appears to have not made it into the final version that'll be coming out hopefully this year, by the end of this year. Earlier this month, Pelo Buddy, we shared a rumor that it could have controls on the handle, allowing the user to take certain actions while rowing without taking your hands off. That could be adjusting the volume, potentially giving out high fives, navigating the leaderboard, and more. But new information now suggests that the first iteration of the Peloton Rower, which will be called Peloton Row, could not have any controls on the or buttons on the handle after all. So it looks like maybe they tested it, and after getting that feedback, they just decided to remove it. Maybe it didn't work as well, or functionality wasn't optimal, and obviously they want to get it out now. So stay tuned. And then along the same lines, while we're talking about the rower, new rower rumor, Matt Wilpers could possibly be teaching rowing classes. So a new rumor indicates that Matt will be teaching rowing classes following the launch of Peloton Row. And we already know that Adrian Williams will be a rowing instructor because he's the only person that's been featured so far in the little teaser video that we have of it when they announced it back in Homecoming in May. But no other coach has been announced or confirmed as of yet. Earlier this month, we speculated that Olympic rower Alex Korwowski could be a new Peloton rowing coach based on a photo that was shared by instructors on social media and then was quickly taken down. Additionally, Marcel Dinkins actually used to teach rowing classes prior to joining Peloton, so she could be potentially a candidate for rowing as well. But we know that Matt Wilpers, he's definitely known as one of the more technical instructors. He teaches, running and the bike on cycling. So it seems like it would be a natural fit for him, to teach proper rowing form. I could see him, filling
totally could see him
modality perfectly. And I would I would love to have him on the rowing platform because I like him as a coach. Agreed.
I think he would be amazing. Interesting. I didn't actually pick up how we got that rumor, but I like it. I like that.
Is that
a possibility there?
Yeah, I know. Is that a Bob Tremore source? We didn't get a source from Chris Lewis on that one.
No, we didn't. But that's definitely exciting to see what goes on there. All right, so with All for One now behind us, Peloton was back with their first artist series after the jam-packed weekend earlier in August. So Florida Georgia Line, a pop popular country music duo was the featured artist series. Members were able to take classes this past Wednesday, the 31st, with Ross, Logan, Matt, and Selena. Ross had a 30-minute yoga flow. Logan did a 20-minute full body strength. Matt had a 30-minute ride, and Selena had a 30-minute walk. So for those of you that love your badges, the artist series does come along with a badge for completing a workout. So definitely make sure, if you haven't had a chance to catch that from this past week, that you get to do one of those workouts.
Nice. Well, along the lines of artist series, we have some new Taylor Swift classes. So on Saturday, September 3rd, and the following Friday, September 9th, we will have live yoga classes featuring the music of Taylor Swift's Folklore and Evermore albums. And there's also a hint that there will be more classes with the newest album of hers called Midnights, which is going to be released on October 21st. So there's, we already had a 30-minute Folklore album, Yoga Flow with Mariana. That was on the 3rd. And then we're getting an upcoming 30-minute Evermore album, Yoga Flow with Kristen McGee on Friday, September 9th. So check those out. And then Peloton previously celebrated Taylor Swift's music during December 2021 with the Red Taylor's Version artist series, where she's re-recording a lot of her music now to gain the rights back to it.
The rights.
But
yeah.
Members can expect to receive a badge for completion of the Taylor Swift Yoga Flow classes, as is the case with a lot of our artists. There may be a surprise Taylor Swift badge, as there was with the Red Taylor's Version artist series back in December. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't done Mariana's yoga yet, but I'm excited. It's going to be awesome. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I love Taylor's music. So don't tell Cody. Who hates Taylor? Cody. He's right. He hates Taylor Swift's music. But yeah, I'm excited for that. All right. So many folks have asked about studio credits when visiting Peloton Studio, New York and PSL. Peloton released last week that the credits would now be valid for 12 months rather than the 60 days that they originally were. So I think, John, this will definitely eliminate a lot of angst that members were having about not being able to get into classes and then having credits expire. Although we know that they probably, Peloton would have honored any credits that people had. But still, I think this makes it much more logistically possible for them. What I don't like is they're not doing any of those packages. So they're giving you your credits. You can literally only buy the credit for per
one
class.
at a time.
Yeah, it would be cool if they did like those 5 packages. Remember when there were 5, you could buy 5 credits and maybe save like $10.
You buy 5 or 10 back. Yeah. And also I thought it was strange because I'm now eyeing a weekend possibly next month to come and visit family in New Jersey and go to the studio. And I was looking at buying credits, and I noticed that you can only buy 1 class credit at a time. You can't even go in.
Terrible.
You can't even select it and then increase the quantity, to 2 or 3 or 10. So it's just,
it's a pain. It definitely is a pain. It's not a very smooth. Yeah, it's not a smooth process. So, and kind of with that being said, not being a smooth process, classes, as we know, are released or supposed to be released on a Monday at noon. But it does seem that it is now going to be at the discretion of Peloton as to what time they are going to release the classes, because this last week, folks were in a complete frenzy because they only released them at 6:15 p.m. So people were literally online from noon, refreshing, waiting for them to drop. And they didn't drop until 6:15. So I know that was really, it hasn't been updated on the webpage yet. It still says 12 noon, but there was some stuff that came out, whether it be on, answers to members posting on the official Peloton page, etc., that they will drop them when, whatever there was. They also said, they also did say that if there is a holiday on the Monday, classes will not be dropped until the Tuesday. So for all of you that are getting ready to sit at your computer tomorrow at noon to book for the weekend of, I believe it's the 15th of October, that the next weekend that's going to be released. I believe so. So if any of you are getting ready to sit at your computer tomorrow, don't, because they are not going to be released on Monday. They will be released on Tuesday, because Monday here in the States is Labor Day. Yeah.
You don't have to stress on Labor Day, on the holiday.
You can go and enjoy yourself. And I think that, in fact, was the case in the UK. So in the UK, last Monday was a bank holiday, and the classes were only released on Tuesday. So I know that everybody was freaking out because no classes. I mean, the US classes, came out, and the US classes came out, but the classes in the UK didn't until Tuesday. So now we know why. That was the reason. That was the reason why. So yeah, I mean, there's still tons of folks that are frustrated about how the classes are being released and how quickly they're going. It's amazing to me. It just is amazing to me that this, is going to be an issue. And I think it may just be an issue for forever, right?
I know, and this is 6 weeks. This is 6 weeks out.
I mean, who the hell knows what they're doing in 6 weeks? I mean, I'm like sitting with my calendar trying to figure out.
Well, it makes it. I appreciate it because it makes it much easier because I don't have to book my flight first. I can figure, if I get the classes or if I get that booked, then I can book my travel after that and not stress.
No. I agree. I do have to say, from that perspective, I think it is fantastic. I think being able to know that you can, as you say, going into classes, and it's not just 2 weeks out, is definitely a huge benefit. But folks, there are lots of people that have been reaching out to ask how to get into classes and what to do. It's all online. So you can certainly go to pelobuddy.com, and Chris has literally a step-by-step of what to do as far as booking classes go, and makes it really simple. So make sure that you have your credits bought. Don't wait until you get a class, because if there are a couple classes you want to buy for, it just takes much longer to put your credit card information in if it's not saved. Correct. If it's not saved.
Already have your credits banked in there.
Definitely. And now that you can keep them for a year, go in and put a couple credits in there just so that that you'll be taken care of. So
I know this is not going to be. When I go that weekend, maybe possibly in October, I know it's not going to be cheap because now it's $35 a pop. Is it 35? And,
$35
and no free walk-in classes. Those days are over, I guess.
Yeah.
Those were the days of wine and roses at 23rd Street in Chelsea.
I know. But again, as I said, I think we've said this ad nauseum. They're trying to get it to be this experience, which it is. It's amazing. So it's worth it. It is worth it. I honestly think that it is worth it, just for the entire experience of what they're giving you. So yeah. So if any of you lucky members still have referral codes, you now have the opportunity to double your rewards. So we're kind of like, into the second half of the year. If you are not John Pruitt or Amanda Siegel and are out of your referral codes, and you still have them, it was announced last week that if you refer friends from September 1st, which was just this past Thursday, through to the 12th, your $100 will actually be worth $200 off of your Peloton apparel purchase, as well as the person that you're referring. So whoever you're referring will now get $200 off their accessories, which is actually really great because those weights are damn expensive. So I just purchased the weights with the new tread that I'm getting because I didn't have any of the Peloton weights, and they're really expensive. So, and the same applies in the UK. It's 200 pounds that you get. So it's $100 in the US and 200 pounds in the UK. So that's
So
really
if I refer someone to get the bike or the tread, the person buying the bike or the tread gets $200 off accessories towards their purchase, and then we get $200 towards apparel.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes, which is awesome. I mean, that's really
Nice.
cool. Again, logistically, it does not make sense. Okay, they're going to give people $200, but they're going to limit us to just $6. Doesn't make sense. But I'm not going there. I again have hashed that one out with you, ad nauseum. I'm moving on. What they are doing, though, they are also extending their free guest pass. So if you have friends that are kind of looking at it and are interested and they want to join with the app, you are now able to get access for 90 days as opposed to the original 60 days that was previously offered. So the Peloton blog, the output, have put a detailed blog post about who's eligible as well as some frequently asked questions. So folks can certainly head over to the outpost to take a look. But it does give folks that little bit of an extended time. And their premise behind it all was we're kind of starting a new school year, new season is what they refer to it as, and get your friends involved. I mean, they're desperately pushing to try and get, that membership uptick.
Yeah, to get those numbers up.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, some updates on the financing options when you purchase Peloton equipment, which has a lot of people angry, and I'm disappointed with this as well. But Peloton has quietly updated their financing offerings, which now vary between 0% and 14.99% interest rate based on the term of the loan when you purchase the bike or the tread or the Bike Plus. So previously, Peloton's financing program, which runs through a firm in the United States, Canada, and Australia, and Klarna in Germany and the United Kingdom, they had 0% financing, 0% APR financing for all terms, 12, 24, 39, and 43 months. Now that has changed, and only the 12-month financing option carries that 0% annual percentage rate. So Peloton has updated their support page for financing with those new terms, and the change appears to be rolling out worldwide. It has currently been updated for Canada and US, who both use Affirm, and as well as the United Kingdom uses Klarna, like I mentioned before. But at the time of publishing this article that Chris Lewis put out on pelobuddy.com, Germany and Australia both seem to still be offering the 0% APR terms for the longer financing terms. So one thing to note, not all customers might qualify for the 0% financing. Not everyone will. So some members might have seen offers at 15% or more.
Wow.
For some of those longer term loans previously. But yeah, I know. I was just reading the negative comments when Chris Lewis posted on the Pelo Buddy Instagram page about this, and I was like, and I'm buying the rower, and obviously, I was going to use Affirm to finance it, instead of shelling out, $23,000 out of pocket.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure they're doing it. I'm sure they're doing it for the rower, exactly for that reason.
So. I don't want to be paying 15%. So I guess I'm probably just going to do the 12 months at 0%, and so have a fatter monthly payment, but at least it's paid off within a year.
In a year, as opposed to having to shell out that money all up front.
Yeah, over three years or whatever term you choose. But that's just kind of a bummer. But I guess they're also at the mercy, with interest rates going up. The interest rate environment, car rates, the Fed funds rate going up, mortgage rates. I can see that side of it, of the reasoning behind it.
From the business perspective,
for these companies. So, when I look at it that way, it doesn't surprise me, but it's still a disappointment because a lot of people might not buy the bike or the tread or the rower because they can't get that 0% for however long to pay it off.
Yeah.
So
yeah. 100%.
that could be a deal breaker.
Yeah. I know.
So.
Definitely had me kind of like, when I saw it, it was like, eek, that sucks. Yeah. All right. Well, interestingly enough, we all know that last week, Peloton surprised everybody with the announcement that the bike, the guides, apparel, and accessories would all be available on Amazon here in the US. We received reports that apparently some members who had left a positive review of the Peloton guide with Peloton had been emailed asking if they wouldn't mind leaving a similar review on Amazon. So those members that complied had discovered that Amazon systems must have actually detected the surge in reviews because they immediately locked down the reviews on Amazon so that only those that had purchased directly through Amazon was able to review. It's kind of sneaky on Peloton's
Which is how it
part,
should be.
I guess. Yeah, I mean,
That's how it should be anyway, because you want to have trusted reviews. Well, I mean, I would only want to read reviews from verified purchases because they also disclose if it was tied to a transaction where the person was given it for free.
Okay.
So you can kind of see the motive, so you can understand if there's motivation behind the review, why they're giving a positive,
review.
4 or 5 star review. Yeah, it gives that detail.
I mean, I hear you, and yet if someone's bought the guide through Peloton, it's the same. It's the same equipment. Why wouldn't the review be just as beneficial if it was posted on Amazon for those that are looking to purchase on Amazon? So I actually don't get it.
Well, Amazon doesn't know how to legitimize it. They just think,
I see what you're saying.
Maybe it's someone just trying to boost, maybe it's Peloton trying to boost their overall rating to push them up higher in whatever category or search result on Amazon.
Okay.
So they're more featured because that all ties into it, the algorithm.
Got it.
So, yeah, I'm sure they have different software that detects, any unusual, suspicious activity like that.
Interesting. Okay. Got it. I guess. Yeah. I understand now.
Yeah. So anyways, well, we have a new apparel quote collection, which seems to be the first of many to come, hopefully. But last week, Peloton Apparel announced a new instructor quote collection, and kicking it off with the first round is Jess Sims. And they posted a little video and an Instagram reel with her modeling some of the pieces. There is a tank top, a sports bra, and a long sleeve shirt that have the quote on different areas of the clothing, but it says celebrate everything and then get back to work. And all of them are sold out, by the way. So if you didn't get it, make sure you plug in your email address so you get notified if they get them restocked. But those were a hot item.
I was disappointed, to be honest. I didn't think anything was really great.
With this style, yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything. It didn't really seem like anything special to me. I mean, I liked the color. It was kind of that sort of salmon pink.
Yeah.
On a couple of them.
There were a couple pieces, but truthfully, I mean, whether they're going to do maybe an instructor a week or a month, or I was just disappointed that it was just one instructor, one quote. That was kind of it.
I clicked on it. I thought it was going to be a big collection, but it was just Jess. So I guess maybe it's a slow roll to other instructors. I don't know where that quote is. That doesn't sound like a Jess. Like I've never heard her say that. So where is that quote originating from?
I haven't got much with her, but I still didn't know where it came from.
They're just putting it with her. Like I've never, that's not the typical Jess Sims quote that I know.
Yeah, yeah.
What are the other? I mean, I just hope they do a funny, like a Cody quote or Dennis quote. Like I make suggestions, you make decisions. Is it that going to be?
Yeah, there's so many good
philosophical quote. Yeah.
There's so many good ones. So I guess we'll wait and see what ends up happening. But that's interesting. I didn't know that everything was sold out. Wow. That's
I went to look and I was like, damn, every size, even triple XL, double XL, extra small, all sold out. So maybe it was a limited, run, but all gone.
To see how people were going to react to it before they when they did a big thing.
Yeah.
All right, good. Interesting. All right. Well, yeah, that pretty much wraps up the news. I mean, we kind of sped through that. And there's only just one instructor in the news this week, and that was, drum roll, Callie Gullickson. She got to be interviewed on Hurdle. She was on the podcast by Emily About. And Callie spoke, she spoke all about how she found herself when she found strength training. She spoke about after moving to New York to pursue dance, that, she really discovered herself there, and how her and her husband had started teaching fitness. I'm kind of reading this. Her now husband, when she started teaching fitness, she spoke about making the transition, and she really gets honest about the sacrifices she had to make when taking the job at Peloton. So I have not had a chance to listen to it yet, unfortunately, but if you are interested and you like working out with Callie and you want to take a listen, certainly head over to pelobuddy.com and pull the podcast off there. So you guys will enjoy it.
One interesting point about her, I think her husband's name is Chris. What he does for a living is he works for a company that designs home gym spaces, like private gym spaces.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
I don't know if it's commercial. It seems more residential, but
okay.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Because she's shown some. I didn't hear the podcast, but I've seen her post, pictures of some finished spaces that Chris's company, helped design or put together. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay, interesting. Good. Yeah. And then,
all right, so jumping, no birthdays.
Well, just
picks of the week.
Birthday.
Oh.
Yep, this birthday was Krista McGee. Krista McGee.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, she celebrated a birthday. So happy birthday to Kristen. Yeah, there are lots of September birthdays coming up. Hello.
I was messaging with her. I was messaging with her on her birthday. It was on Wednesday. Yeah. And I said, are your kids going to take you to Chuck E. Cheese? And she started laughing, and she sent emojis. It looked like she said we were making tacos. And I said, oh, okay, Taco Wednesday. All right, that works. She goes, no, more like burrito birthday. We're making burritos. So.
She's so lovely.
Yeah.
And she is just so wonderful with those boys. So I hope she had an amazing birthday.
All right, so let's jump right into the picks of the week, I guess, Amanda.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and start it off. So first up is Charlotte Wienbach. She got a pick for her 20-minute metal ride. It was in German. It was back from the 25th of August at 9 a.m. And all the burgers had recommended this, and they said killer playlist, and Charlotte has hit her stride. So that's so awesome to get Charlotte on here as a pick of the week. Next one is mine, Justin Thompson Rule, her 30-minute Carnival celebration walk. And we spoke about Carnival last week, and I have to say, Justin's walk was absolutely brilliant. She really went through the history of how Carnival got started, the Caribbean immigrants to the UK. I just loved listening to her talk. And you were working out at the same time. And I felt like I was sitting, having a chat with a friend as she was explaining the, understanding of what Carnival was all about. So I absolutely loved it. And I definitely recommended it as a pick this week.
Right. Next up, John Hoskins, 30-minute 80s run from August 26th. That was submitted by Shazza Spin, and they said best class on the platform. So you don't get much higher praise than that.
Exactly.
And then Alex Toussaint's 30-minute club bangers, also from the 26th. And we got that one from Kim Carve 11 and Carton Milk, and they said the club is always lit.
All right. And then Hannah Frankson, her 30-minute Carnival celebration ride. It was from the 27th. Jackie Spin 18 and Tiff Kopstock had both recommended it and basically said party time. I have been desperate to try and get on that ride, and something always pops up and I haven't been able to get on, but I do want to do it. So I would have loved to have had it as my pick this week, but I know that it looked fantastic. Did you end up jumping on that?
No, I was just looking at the time. So I guess that came out the morning of the 27th at 5 a.m. Eastern.
You know what? Yeah. So I think, I don't know if it was live, if she did it live or
okay.
it was in, she dropped it. I think it was live because I think it was in studio. It was absolutely live. It was a live ride for folks in studio on that Saturday. So
I did it live last year because it was on, a Friday afternoon Eastern time.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Next up is Tobias Hines. He's a 60-minute marathon race prep run. It is in German, but we got that one, believe it or not, by quite a few members. So Fleetwood Mom, Bertha C. runs MD, Annie, who's just fantastic, Katie White, 525, Ruby Spinner, and Lauren 05, 1981, all recommended it. And some of the comments were, Coach T's marathon prep was incredible. The structure was awesome. After a warm-up, 3 10-minute tempos with 10-minute at marathon pace in between. There's enough English cues to make it enjoyable for everyone, but the music really makes it. Awesome playlist overall, so motivating, and a really sweet birthday song for his wife. And then somebody else said, I hear a ton of runners asking for longer runs on the running group's social media. Just a reminder to turn on your German option and don't sleep on Tobias. He has great coaching experience. I've said this before, I think. He's like the German Matt Wilpers. Eclectic and fun music, encouraging coaching, and great structure for runners who are training, not just for marathons, but anyone wanting to work on tempo run. He explains the structure right up front in English, and it's easy to follow. 10-minute intervals, 4 sections. So even if you don't speak German, you can totally follow along. Plus, you feel so accomplished afterwards. Wow, that was an amazing couple of reviews there, because for anybody that's looking, for that longer run, and look, you and I love our German instructors, so it's nice to get, a couple new ones on here. Tobias, it's fantastic to get that on there. So awesome.
Well, while we're still on running, Queen Cheese submitted Andy Spears' 30-minute classic rock run from August 27th. They said, I got to be in the studio and we had so much fun playing Prelude versus non-Prelude song. Andy greeted us. I think what he's meaning by is Prelude. Andy drove a Honda Prelude in high school.
Oh, okay.
The car. So was it a Prelude song that he played in his Honda Prelude, or was it a I think that's what they're referencing.
Okay, because it was a classic. Okay.
Yeah, for anyone, Andy talks about like, I used to play the song in the Prelude back in the day, when he was in high school driving his car.
Nice.
They said Andy greeted us all and was so pumped. And then next up is Cliff Dwanger's 30-minute gospel ride from August 28th. This one was submitted by Feelin' a Little Randy, Amy Tice, Jen 403, and Skitty Kid. And they said, a rare ride with Cliff in English. Oh,
yeah.
Joyful, restored my soul, spiritual experience. They also said it was full of inspiring music, tough riding, that never-ending climb, and fun. And was that Benny Adami hiding in the corner?
So cool. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome.
Was Benny, awesome. I guess Benny was riding a bike back
Benny's
in the corner
been
of the
jumping
studio?
on. He's been jumping on. He did Leanne's ride last Friday, literally off the back of his. So he went from his ride and then went straight into it with the Tropical House, and then managed to jump on a bike and was right in the front. And oh my God, it was so fantastic to see his energy in the studio. I would have loved to have been riding next to him. Really, really cool. All right. So next up is Matt Wilpers. So Wicked, Sober Sarah, and Miranda Land both recommended his 45-minute country run. Also from Sunday the 28th, 9 a.m. Eastern, they said great playlist of new artists with long intervals to work on your endurance. Great class for newbies wanting to test out longer runs. And then Bradley Rose, Aunt Mini 10, recommended his 30-minute country ride, also from the 28th at 10:30 a.m. They said equal parts fun, motivating, and an ass kicking.
And then next up, we have Emma Lovewell's 30-minute EDM ride from the 28th. This was a popular one because we had a lot of folks submit it, including Katie Rosen 212, Victoria Lindy 16, Go Run, and SK Gavin. They said amazing playlist, such a hype vibe. And then next up, Jess Sims, 30-minute bike boot camp, upper body from the 28th of August as well. And that was submitted by Dippin22. They said it might not have been live, but it was still a great bike boot camp.
Great. That's nice that somebody sent that in as a pick, knowing that people were moaning about the fact that these bike boot camps were on hiatus. So that was kind of good. Yeah. All right.
Or recorded. Yeah, not live.
Yeah. That's what I meant. Live. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Kendall Toole, her 45-minute intervals and arms ride from Monday the 29th was recommended by Maggie M. Harrison. They said so hard and all boxing arms. Music was great. Downloaded it all. And then Krista McGee did a 10-minute body scan meditation. It was from August the 29th, 8:15, Miranda Land. Recommended this one too. Great for beginners, advanced, and everyone in between. Just the right amount of guidance and quiet for a perfect 10 minutes.
Nice. Next up, Chelsea Jackson Roberts, 10-minute focus, flow yoga, floor poses from August 29th. Submitted by AMAJAR3. They said, I ended up bookmarking this one to do it multiple times. Great work on floor postures and poses. And then next up, Jen Sherman's 45-minute Hidden Hills from the morning of August 30th. Submitted by Spin Yoga Chick and Pelo Jennifer. They said, such a good workout on this one. I did that one live, and it was nice to have the usual 45-minute, from Jen. Like that's her. She loves teaching the 45s, which I feel like we don't get as many, as we used to. But yeah, Tuesday mornings, she would always, have a 45-minute ride back in the day.
Yeah. Keep going. The next one's yours.
Yes. So Bex Gentry's. It's been a minute since I've done a 45-minute run, and definitely it's been a while since I've run live with Bex Gentry, but she had a 45-minute 80s run from Wednesday, August
30th.
It was the 30th, but it was, Tuesday, August 30th, rather. It was a blast. And this was also recommended by Eric M. But I mean, just to give you an idea, Paul Abdul, then she went into Hungry Eyes by Eric Carmen. So, you had some Dirty Dancing vibes there. I Get Weak, but it was a very 80s pop laden playlist. Belinda Carlisle, Summer of 69, Bryan Adams.
Oh, wow.
Cruel Summer, Bananarama, I'm Still Standing, Elton John, Another Day in Paradise, Phil Collins, Europe, The Final Countdown, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. It was a lot of fun. And it flew by because 45 minutes like running, that could last forever for me, especially if it's music that I'm not as into. But this made it so much more enjoyable, and I didn't even really look at the time.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Great run
awesome
from Bex. Then next up's Kirsten Ferguson's 30-minute Hills Run from August 30th. Submitted by Endorf Spins. They said
Endorf Spins. Endorf Spins.
It says he's got Endorf, so
probably
fat fingered that one.
Endorf
Spins. They said she's such an amazing inspiration.
Awesome. All right. And then I'm going to throw this one out. I was so impressed with myself that I got up at the crack of frigging dawn to do strength with Ben. But
At
I did.
6:30 a.m.?
I was up early. I was up early and it was amazing. It was amazing. It was a 20-minute upper body strength class. One of my friends, DJ Queen, was celebrating a birthday, and Estonian chick was having a milestone. She was doing 700 strengths. So I got up to do it, and I've actually bookmarked it to do it again because it was such an awesome upper body workout. It was, really, and you do the weights that work for you. And I don't have heavy weights here done in Florida, so I did it and loved it. Absolutely amazing. So 20-minute upper body strength from the 31st. And then I had quite a stack that day because then I went on to do Maddie Majacomo's 20-minute walk plus run. And I had, it's interesting because I had done a huge stack the day before and I really didn't know if my legs were gonna manage it. But I'm loving Maddie doing this. He does his walk and talk on a Wednesday morning.
I did those live.
And then, did you do both of them? So I was on the app.
I did the walk
Okay.
live and then the walk plus run right after that. Yeah.
All
there's
right.
some funny moments in both of those too.
There were great moments. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
loving working out with Maddie. Absolutely loving working out with Maddie, I must say. But so you didn't see me because I was on the app. But I did the walk and then I jumped on the walk and run. I thought it was outstanding. I thought the structure, the way he did it, for me, it was almost like a recovery run because my legs were so tired from the day before. But the way he structured that, and of course, he's so fun. And just listening to him and, him talking about, you heard it too, but him talking about it, Italy and what you can say and you can't say and what you can eat and you can't eat in Italy and everything. I mean, he's just
pizza,
so much fun. Yeah.
Domino's Pizza getting drummed out of Italy. Yeah.
But yeah, for someone who is not a fantastic runner, that one absolutely was perfection. Yep. And then Camilla Ramon did a 30-minute pop punk ride. It was also from the 31st at noon. Eve's That Girl, Jackie, and Bridget and Moa all recommended it, and they said playlist was great and I smashed my PR without trying. I love that.
Nice.
And then I guess I'll just finish up the last one. So Logan Aldridge, his 20-minute Florida, Georgia line, full body strength that we spoke about in the news part. Bertha C. Runs MD and Amajar 3 both recommended just the right level of difficulty, and he shares a lot about his background. So his personality really shines through, and he clearly loves the music. So
you say Amajar 3, and I said AMA Jar 3. I don't know what's
that's so
the
funny.
proper way to say their leaderboard name. I thought it was like Ask Me Anything Jar 3 AMA.
It could be AMA Jar 3. All right. Well,
Amajar 3.
Whatever it is, Emma's real comes into it as we don't know how to pronounce leaderboard names. But anyways, that was some great recommendations. So thank you all for sharing those picks. We had some good ones this week, and I like seeing different people being thrown in there. I hope everyone's impressed that I am throwing in different people in there. I'm really trying to be, doing different things, some diversity going on. It's all good. All right, folks. Well, I guess that kind of wraps it up for this week. Again, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to listen and get to hear about all the news in the Peloton world for this past week. For those in the States, we wish you a very happy Labor Day tomorrow. Hope you have a restful and great end to the summer. And don't all go out on Tuesday and buy your pumpkin spice lattes because there is still some summer left to be had.
unless you're Callie Gullickson.
Yeah, but Maddie's not going to get his. He's made it very clear that he doesn't like the PSLs. I hate it when they refer to it as PSL because I always think of Peloton Studio London. Bradley actually referred to it as PSL as well. But anyway, so thank you. Have a awesome week ahead, and we will see you next week. So from me down here in South Florida, bye for now, everybody.
Yep, and from me here in Michigan, happy Labor Day for our friends in the States. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.